This video is on midpoint formula. Midpoint will always be an ordered pair, a coordinate, because it's called a midpoint. So it's going to be a coordinate. The midpoint, so again, midpoint between the point, let's call them x sub 1 and comma y sub 1, and the coordinate of x sub 2 comma y sub 2, so our two different coordinates, is. So to find it, you take your x sub 1, because it is a coordinate, so we want our x's first, x sub 1 plus x sub 2, and we divide that by 2 because we want the middle of it. So to find our y part of it, we do the same thing, but with our y sub 1 plus our y sub 2, and we divide that value by 2. Because the x coordinate of the midpoint is the average of the two x coordinates. Average is when you add all the values together and divide by how many there are. In this case, we have two x values, so we add both x values together and divide by how many there are, which is 2. Average is when you add everything together and divide it by how many you have. So therefore, the y coordinate of the midpoint is the average of the two y coordinates. So the midpoint is the average of the two coordinates that you're given. You add the two y values and divide by the amount of y values you had, which was 2. So if we want to find the midpoint, we want to find the average of our first coordinate and our second coordinate, so the middle of it. So we have our x sub 1 and our x sub 2. We have our y sub 1 and our y sub 2. So if we want to do this, it must be in a coordinate. So it will have parentheses, comma, and another set of parentheses. This is still your x location, and this is still our y location. So we want to do everything with our x's. We want to take our x values and average them. So we're going to do 1 plus 7, and we divide it by 2 because that's the average. We want to find the average of the y values, which is 2 plus 6, that's all of our y values. We're going to divide by how many we have. We have 2 of them. Now to actually simplify that will give us our midpoint. Our midpoint will be 1 plus 7 is 8, divided by 2 is 4, comma, 2 plus 6 is 8, divided by 2 is 4. This is our midpoint. This coordinate is the exact middle, is the coordinate that's the exact middle of these other two coordinates. This is our midpoint.